Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It is wonderful to see this many people out to celebrate what is a momentous event, not just for city schools, but for the community here and the entire city of Baltimore. I am Dr. Sonia Brookins Santelises, and it is truly my honor and pleasure today as Chief Executive Officer of Baltimore City Public Schools to welcome you to this Delivering on the Promise event. This is a major milestone to celebrate our joint collective efforts as a community to bring state-of-the-art school buildings to the students of Baltimore. And now, let's begin the program, and I am very pleased to introduce our student hostess for this morning's event, a rising 7th grader here at Fort Worthington Elementary Middle School, someone who we affectionately call Dr. Rayshawn Stanley. Miss Stanley.
Ladies and gentlemen, we call on everyone to clap and cheer for the much-awaited completion of our city's first 21st century school buildings. Thank you, fellow students, parents, teachers, and staff. Your work and that of our education advocates, elected officials, community leaders, and neighbors has made this day possible. Because of all of you, together, we will continue to make this program a reality and modernize schools for Baltimore's kids. And with you, we resolve to love our schools and use them to support our future. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rayshawn Stanley, and my 7th and 8th grade school years will take place right here at the fabulous Fort Worthington Elementary Middle School with my new principal, Monique Dubai. My friends and I are very excited, and part of being excited is remembering how we got here. Let's start from the beginning, advocacy. In 2010, the American Civil Liberties Union, or ACLU, issued a bold report describing the troubling conditions of many of Baltimore's aging school buildings. These reports shined a light on what people knew, that improving Baltimore City's schools conditions was key to helping the way students learn. The ACLU's efforts led to a huge organizing campaign, including other key partners, task force, grassroots community engagement, and ultimately City Council's vote for the school's construction bill. In 2011, the Transform Baltimore campaign was adopted by the Baltimore Education Coalition, or BEC. The city pledged to find new revenue sources to renovate schools and transform Baltimore gain momentum, support, and eventually large crowds across Baltimore's schools and communities. In 2012, the block grant bill for funding new schools construction was defeated in the Maryland General Assembly, despite hundreds of supporters in Annapolis for city schools' 10-year plan. However, momentum was established for a new funding proposal to take back to the legislature. The Baltimore City Bottle Tax would produce money for new schools. City Council passed the bottle tax overwhelmingly, which led to an additional support for a Baltimore block grant and with funding revenues from the incoming gaming industry. One night, one bill, one Baltimore. In the freezing cold winter day in 2013, over 3,000 strong, Baltimore stood in front of the State House to demand new schools. In the spring of 2013, the Baltimore City delegation filed House Bill 860, Senate Bill 743, the Baltimore City's Construction Act. As the bill was negotiated between the state and the city, BEC and Transform Baltimore stood firmly by the city's schools and their 10-year plan. With overwhelming bipartisan support, the Baltimore Public Schools Construction Act was passed, 108-30 in the House and 40-7 in the Senate. At this time, I invite to the podium Lieutenant Governor Boyd Rutherford, Mayor Catherine Pugh, and City Council President Jack Young.
Since day one, education has been a major priority for the Hogan-Rutherford administration. And as you know, we passed a budget this year that delivered record funding for K-12 elementary for the 3rd year in a row. We're working tirelessly to ensure that our schools produce students who have both the skills and the opportunities they need for the jobs of the future as well as today. Because we believe very strongly that every child deserves access to a great education, regardless of where they come from or what zip code they happen to live in. A key part of making this a reality is making sure that kids get to school safely and in a reliable manner. With the recent launch of Baltimore Link, I'm encouraging everyone to help our students map out the routes to their schools. The Department of Transportation is working to educate families and with city public schools about the new routes, as well as working at back-to-school rallies, block parties, school transfer centers, summer school registration, as well as at the state fair. Ensuring access to a world-class education also depends on providing our youngest Marylanders with buildings that are modern, safe, and efficient, and buildings that provide an environment that stimulates growth and learning. By partnering with the 21st Century School Building Program, that's exactly what we're helping to provide right here in Baltimore. I want to again congratulate everyone who helped make this today possible. Thank you for investing in our students and investing in the future of Baltimore. Thanks again for this opportunity, and I can't stop without also thanking the great work of the Stadium Authority in the construction and management of this building as well as others. And at this time, I'd like to turn over the podium to the great mayor of Baltimore, Catherine Pugh.
Thank you. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. Let me first give honor and praise to God, because somehow I feel like we should have, as Jack Young would say, we should have opened with prayer. Because, prayer goes a long way. And so I want to thank God for the opportunity just to stand before you all this morning. It's not quite afternoon, or is it? This day has been going so long. I just left City Hall, where we got 50 people who are sleeping in front of City Hall because they're homeless, and we're working on that. And I should let you all know that we're resolving that issue today. But our city is faced with many challenges, and school is #1 priority. Educating our children has to be the #1 priority for our community. Let me take a moment and acknowledge Senator McFadden, Delegate Learman, Delegate Glenn, President of the Legislative Black Caucus, and I should say Senator McFadden, President Pro Tem of the Senate, Councilwoman Sneed, and Councilman Stokes for also being here with us. Let me just say to the coalition, the ACLU, and all the active groups, how important it was for you to continue to advocate on behalf of the children of our city. We need you now more than ever, because as we look at the shrinking population of our city, but I can tell you that we are growing, but I don't know if we'll grow in time enough for the next census. And so we're very fearful in terms of what our delegation is going to look like when we get back to Annapolis, and it is important that we have strong people there representing us and fighting on our behalf. And the advocacy groups that help to fight for this initiative are most important to our progress. $1 billion, Senator McFadden, and I know that my colleague here has some special words to say to you, because this was not an easy fight. As was pointed out, it was 2010 when this initiative was put in front of our delegation, and we fought hard. I want to acknowledge that Senator McFadden, 47-0 in the Senate. He was President Pro Tem, and I was the majority leader of the Senate, and we are the ones who get an opportunity to sit in the back room and say, now, not later, now, and we need it now. And I have initiated an initiative, Lieutenant Governor, that makes Baltimore City Community College free. And someone said, well, don't you realize that the majority of those young people could go there free? I said, but the problem is that the parents don't know it. They don't know it. Free says that we're equalizing the playing field so that our young people aspire to be what they want to be, and more importantly, seek what they don't even know. And so these schools, which represent 250 jobs in Baltimore City for Baltimore City residents, and a safe an exciting place for them to be educated is second to none. We believe in the citizens of Baltimore. We believe that we deserve the very best. And when you give the very best, you get the very best. So when you set your expectations high, we will reach up for them. Let's not lower expectations for our children. Let's lift them up. I can guarantee you, if you give them the opportunity, they will reach for it. But you got to give them the opportunity. We've got to provide first-class facilities with computers just like in Montgomery County and any other county in this state. Don't blame us for what we don't have. Give us what we need. And so this school is an example. It is an example for the rest of the city. We need what we have here across the city. We will build 23 new schools thanks to the Stadium Authority and all of those who are engaged in this process. But we must build them. And when you build them, we will come and we will excel. So thank you, all of you advocates. Thanks for all the work that you've done. But keep on advocating, because Baltimore needs you, and we need great students, and we need students who will achieve, because we know that inside of these school buildings are the next president, the next person to discover the cure for cancer, whatever it is, Microsoft developers. We can do it. Just give us the opportunity, and that's what this school represents. It represents the future for our young people. Thank you for this opportunity, and having said that, I have the great opportunity to present to you someone who has been a really faithful partner in this process for me. Because as I say, when I walked into City Hall, there were a lot of challenges, and I think every mayor walks into City Hall with challenges. And if I didn't have a partner to help me maneuver through this process, I probably wouldn't be where we are today. But I want to thank you, Jack Young, for being such a great partner. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the City Council, Bernard Jack Young.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Good morning to everyone. First, I'd like to thank Dr. Santelises and her team. I'd like to thank everyone who had a part in making sure that we got the resources to build these schools. I particularly want to thank Senator McFadden. I joke with him a lot, but McFadden gets a lot done. Because like the mayor said, when we're not in the back room, then we lose out. We have redistricting that's coming up, and if we're not in the room, Baltimore get hurt. So I just want to tell you that our children, Michael Jackson and all of them got together and said, we believe the children are our future, teach them well, and let them lead the way. I say they are out today, because if we don't take care of them today, there is no future. So I just want to commend the former council members who fought hard with us with the bottle tax, the current council members, the non-lapsing fund that we put together where the money can be deposited into was formed by the council. And I'm just excited to be here this morning. All of our elected officials, all of our appointed officials, just the community as a whole. The community need to give themselves a hand. I remember sitting in countless meetings with Nicole and the former president of Berea, Mr. Henson, just trying to work things out so that we can keep components for the rec center in this building. So there's a commitment and there's a partnership where Recreation and Parks will be able to use this facility as well. And this is just a great day. This is a great morning, and the sun is shining. We had the eclipse on yesterday. We have the grand opening of the school today, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful feeling for me, because my entire career has been about my children and my seniors, because everybody in the middle can fence for themselves. But the children, if you mess with the children or the seniors, you'll see another side of me that you really don't want to see, okay? So I just want to thank Reverend Sean Bell, who has been a stalwart advocate for this school, making sure that we get the right things here. I want to thank MTA, because you guys have to get our kids to school on time. So I want to give a shout out to the MTA. All of the partners, I remember down in Annapolis when we were rallying for the money, and the advocates had just about everybody there. And I had what I have now, bronchitis, and couldn't talk as much. but I'm talking a lot now. But I just want to thank the Lieutenant Governor, the Governor, because without their help and support, we wouldn't be able to get the funds that we have received, because we don't need to fight. They might be Republicans, we might be Democrats, but we're all fighting for the same people. And it's just how we get there. And sometimes you have to sit down in the back rooms and talk these issues over and do what's best for the people. You know, I don't see Democrat and I don't see Republican when I look out here and see you. I see people who want things for their community, want things for their children, and this school is going to be a shining example, so to the students. No excuses why you can't achieve here. That's right. Because you're going to have clean drinking water, bright new classrooms, and all you have to do is come to school prepared to learn. And like I also tell kids, I know you all have favorite songs that you sing. You know every ooh, every ah, every twist of that song. So if you use that same type of energy towards your schoolwork, think about the possibilities. Good morning.
So what we are going to do next is I'm going to ask those who will be participating in the ribbon cutting to ready themselves, and the Lieutenant Governor will now read the governor's citation.
I'm not going to read the whole thing. It'll get too long on a hot day. But be it known that on behalf of the citizens of this state, in recognition of the outstanding commitment of the students, faculty, and staff of Fort Worthington Elementary Middle School to quality education and academic achievement, with congratulations on this occasion of the ribbon cutting ceremony for your new replacement school, and as an expression of our admiration, great respect, and best wishes, we confer upon you this governor's citation, signed this date, Lawrence J. Hogan Jr., Governor, Boyd K. Rutherford, Lieutenant Governor, John C. Woven Smith, Secretary of State. And I hope we'll put this up in the school.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And what we would like to do is welcome everyone who will be participating, yes, sir, on the other side, because we're going to cut the ribbon.